Marko Gasic is on the lines now, international affairs commentator. I'm Marko. Didn't expect this news from Porton Down. You would have expected something rather more concrete. Not what we heard today, that in fact, yeah, they've identified the nerve agent, but they couldn't trace it back. I don't know if anyone is tonight in Britain trying to do that. The UK's gone so public so quickly with these strong statements and actions against Russia. Its intelligence services, therefore, you would think, have evidence to back them. You would have maybe heard it today. We've still not seen it.
I don't think we're ever going to see it. I mean, there's two possibilities. They have it and they're hiding it for good, decent, patriotic reasons, or they haven't got it and they're bluffing and peddling furiously. I incline to the latter explanation, particularly because we're learning now through WikiLeaks that actually the UK and the US have been aware of the book which revealed the formulas, as the professor referred to earlier. The UK and US have been aware of the significance of that book and have been trying to suppress knowledge of that book precisely because it does show how a modern chemistry lab can make this particular next generation agent. So clearly for a decade now the UK and the US have known that it can be made elsewhere, even as Theresa May has been briefed by whoever that only the Russians could have made it. So the establishment of the UK and US, led by the State Department, I should say, from 2007, have been aware of something which Theresa May appears to be unaware of, and indeed Boris Johnson.
Who's benefiting from this current Cold War rhetoric, do you think, over it?
Well, that's the thing, really. The old question, who benefits, is perfectly clear. Anybody who wants to make Russia look bad for any reason has had a great time the last few weeks, because this has been blacken Russia serially time, and they've been working on it actively, loudly, hysterically, without, as I say, evidence, and hiding the evidence that they knew that they were wrong in the first place.
If you're gonna...
So I would say there's the... Go.
Yeah, if you're going to accuse someone, Russia's saying simply here, look, let us get involved in the conversation, the investigation. Give us some, if you can provide some sample, let us analyse it as well. Not give it all, just give us some. We want to look at it as well. If you're going to accuse somebody of something, they've got to defend themselves. Is that going to happen? Surely Russia's asked these important questions. It must be duty-bound and answer.
Well, they're trying to treat Russia as some kind of guilty party in advance that doesn't deserve to know anything. But of course, even guilty parties or innocent parties accused of being guilty, all under British justice, have to have access to the evidence that's supposed to convict them. So this is a complete distortion of everything that the British justice system tries to do domestically. Russia is being hung, drawn and quartered without being able to contest anything to do with the claim. It's been prejudged in advance by people like Theresa May and Boris Johnson, who really are not great scientists to the best of my knowledge, and the Russians are supposed to be taking this and admitting to a guilt that they clearly do not have. And the sad thing is that a lot of the so-called international community, that little international community which is the US and various EU states, have joined in this international lynch mob, which, as I say, is backed up by zero evidence.
The OPCW is having an unscheduled hearing tomorrow. It's been requested by Russia. That's going to be behind closed doors. We don't think we'll get much out of that. But I suppose it's what the OPCW have to say at the end of this in a week or two, maybe, where they come back with some conclusions. Will that be the hard, fast evidence that is needed either way or not?
I don't think so. I think that certainly the UK and US will find a way of neutering any conclusion that the OPCW comes to really express no particular opinion. It would
why are you saying it's not independent?
In the hands of those who spread the original one. Sorry?
Are you saying it's not independent?
I'm saying that it's independent, but it's under severe pressure. It will be under severe pressure to produce a conclusion that doesn't totally embarrass the UK and the US, who've been leading with this story from the front, from the word go, inappropriately, excessively loudly and unjustly.
Marko Gasic, international affairs commentator, thanks for your time tonight with a lovely London background behind you there. Thank you. Well, up till